introduction, man. Hey, what's up, man? Shrewd news and reviews. We here again.
Yes, we here again with another episode. What we
Yeah,
got?
this the weekend update, Bob.
Mm, weekend update.
We ain't really addressed nothing all week. Oh, you sipping?
That's just some lemonade.
Oh, okay. I'm on water. You know what I'm saying? It's a little early. It is a little early, dog. So you good though?
Yeah, everything good, man. We just
All right.
keeping it moving.
What I want to discuss today with you, Bob, I want to get into elongate, everything that's surrounding Elon Musk. You know, that's what we call it in the scandal,
Said
elongate.
Elon Gate.
Yeah, elongate. You know, that's what we refer to. He came up with the name, not me. So if you think it's corny, you could blame that on Elon.
Okay.
Definitely want to talk about what we learned about the Buffalo shooter. But first, there's been a lot of talk in the last 24 hours about underwater being the same thing as outer space.
I have to talk on this topic, being it would be
You wanted to get into this one.
it would be a it would be a it would be a hurting part of our society for me not to talk about that part. So it's like I'm
Okay.
excited to get into this.
All right. Well, let's see if we could. I'm gonna see first of all if we could share the video just so everybody is on the same page. I don't know if this has come across everybody's dang timeline, but I definitely saw a few people on my timeline sharing this, so I thought it would be cool. I think that we could learn a thing or two about a thing or two. Okay. Trying to get better with the syncing up of the videos and everything like that.
Got it.
All right. You with me, right?
Yep, we with you.
Okay. Let me
Turn
take
that
her off mute. Let's see what the young lady has to say because she's introducing some very intriguing notions.
Right now. There's a lot of unexplained things going on in the ocean right now. Hold on real quick. I do not trust them. Just watch this real quick for me. You get to Mars by going through the ocean. You can't get to the bottom of the ocean because outer space is the ocean. Now, what she just said just blew my mind. Now, there's a situation called the firmament. So we know that water is all around us. And it is said that this dome divided the sea into upper and lower sections. You can't cancel this out because they still haven't discovered 80% of the sea. Early civilizations believed that the ocean and the stars above were linked. I mean, just look. Mayan, Norse, Hindu, Hebrew, all of them. Now we already know what spacesuits look like, but they look exactly like sea suits. I know once in your life you've heard of the Bermuda Triangle. Planes and people going missing in the ocean. There are black holes in the ocean. And I just know once in your life you've heard about sea monsters. When you see a comet, it looks like a boat soaring through water. What if these unexplained species in the ocean are actually aliens? If y'all have ever watched this movie Underwater, they went too deep and found the creature that don't even look like it's supposed to be from this earth. Or could it have just been a creature from space? Now you can say what you want, but I bet you we are not the only beings, only species, only creatures that are in this universe. It's just ironic that when they return to Earth, they're on water. I mean, I know I'm not tripping. And I know y'all heard of mermaids. So many unexplained things in the ocean. They're making more discoveries in space. Not really putting too much money or caring about what's going on the planet. Why? Because this sea stuff might have a lot of connections to space. And they not telling us. Y'all be safe, and I know I'm not the only person who feel this way.
Wow. Wow. That was really something. Now, what was your initial reaction when you watched this?
My initial reaction to this was
Keep it real.
she had a good they had a good presentation. They had good facts that they was presenting. But some of them was just a little out there.
When you said she had good facts, do you remember any of the ones that you thought were particularly good?
when they said that we always think of everything from the sea, like you ever heard of the Bermuda Triangle with the planes falling in, and so when she mentioned the Bermuda Triangle, um, those are facts that
Yeah, it's interesting that you should say that because from what I know about the Bermuda Triangle, there's nothing special about it. Like there's not any more shipwrecks or plane crashes in the Bermuda Triangle than any other part of the ocean. But it's kind of something that people talk about all the time that's just not based in fact.
yeah.
So that to me would be one red flag. She also brought up mermaids.
Right.
That doesn't concern you at all.
She
Like that
brought up memory.
yeah, I mean like why would you, for me it's like why would I care about what anybody has to say once they start talking about mermaids? Like that's like kind of silly to me. And she was like, at one part of the video, she was like, when you see a comet in the sky, like a shooting star, it looks like a boat going through water. I was like,
Yeah, she lost me there.
yeah, I was like, so what does that matter? Then she brought up movies. Uh, then one of my favorite parts of the video was when she was like, you notice when they come back from outer space, they on water too. I'm like, how the fuck does that? How is
Have to
that
do
an
it.
argument that this is something wrong? So I don't know. That was crazy to me. I thought it was very entertaining. I thought it was amusing. I like her delivery. I like her energy. But to me, I was terrified by how many people on my timeline shared that. And like when I look at the comments, they were like, yeah, you've been talking about this for years. Like, yeah, I knew it. I always felt like everybody was kind of just like jumping
So
on the.
she's been so basically you're telling me that she's been on this for years.
No, I'm saying that people I know shared this on the timeline, and then when I look further, because I was curious, like, is this a joke? Are these people serious? So I looked on the comments, and people are really buying into it.
So wow. So basically you're seeing a lot of people like support this and support this theory.
I mean, I wouldn't say a lot, but a couple.
A
Within
couple.
24 hours, like I kept seeing it on my timeline.
So yeah, basically you're saying that this lady isn't thoroughly preaching this and marketing this. This is just one video that she got and it's like going viral.
I don't
Correct?
know much about this girl, but
Right.
I'm just saying I'm not the kind of person that will watch a TikTok video like that with
Yeah, me neither.
my threshold for what constitutes as evidence, is a little bit, I guess, lower than the people that would be sharing that on their timeline.
Okay,
Like that's
gotcha,
just weird to me. I don't. I mean, but
gotcha.
these are probably the same people that was sharing the mermaid video that faked a lot of people recently.
Right. See,
And
this is what I'm getting to. I'm getting to like, okay, these type of people that are sharing this, could they just love mermaids? Could they just love these characters or these movies that came out with these kind of illustrations in them? And it's like a self-fulfilling, you know, I don't know. That's where I kind of feel like it's a lot of movie. I see a lot of movie in this, in her clips, like
yeah,
mermaid
she made reference to
water.
movies, right? Right.
Yeah. So I could just see the movie loving conspiracy theorists uh following along with this, you know?
Right.
Couldn't you?
Definitely, definitely. I would consider this to be a conspiracy theory. And I'm glad that we started here because this seems like a lighthearted thing, right? It's funny, you know what I'm saying? It's a
Yeah,
big joke, you know. But
that's what I kind of initiated as. Like, she was maybe just, it's like a joke, a good, good marketing. But like you said, it's some people on your timeline that took it as,
I don't think she's joking, and I don't think the people that shared it necessarily take it as a joke. I'm saying that the fact that people wouldn't take this as a joke is amusing and terrifying to me at the same time. Because if you're gullible enough to fall for a TikTok video like this, then you could be convinced of more nefarious things, darker conspiracies. And they might even lead to somebody acting out on these conspiracy theories, acting out in violence. Just like we saw somebody show up at the eatery. I forget the name of it. We should look it up. But remember the whole when people were convinced that the Pizzagate thing was real. There's still people who believe that, and somebody showed up at the pizza place with a gun, ammunition to rescue kids that they thought were there, and it was all fake. So these things have real world consequences. But we don't even have to go back to Pizzagate. I'll say that this to me directly relates to what happened with the Buffalo shooting.
How would you say that? I would like to hear your point on this one.
Well, I think it comes back to people being gullible enough to fall for conspiracy theories. So if you don't have critical thinking skills, motivated reasoning skills, you could be fooled that, you know, deep underwater is the same thing as outer space. The world is actually flat, right? Starts there. And then before you know it, you've been convinced that God chose white people as a superior race to civilize the rest of the world. And maybe they could even convince you that immigrants are being placed here by Jews to replace white people. And the thing to do is to go out and hurt black people. Does that sound far fetched to you, or you think that this is something that maybe could happen?
Yeah, don't sound far fetched, man. Cause so you saying that Buffalo shooter was definitely, um, he was coerced. You think he was a part of a crew? This wasn't a
I think it sounds like you want to ask me, do I think the Buffalo shooter was a lone gunman? And I think he was crazy. Is that where you were going with that?
Yeah, I feel that you don't feel like he's crazy at all. You feel like he was influenced, and it's a
Very much
bigger.
so. Very much so. And I think that most of his influence probably came from Fox News.
That's bold.
Yeah. 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 Tucker Carlson, if I was going to be more specific. Are you familiar with the great replacement theory?
No,
Hmm, very interesting. Well, I think I got a good article.
great replacement.
All right. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we could pull this up. It was a real good article I saw in a publication called Religious News Service. It's not a typical name of a source that I would usually use, but we'll go into that later. But Religious News Service, I think, had a really good article, and it talks about how black people and Jews are bound together in the Great Replacement theory. Let's get into a little bit of this. By now, unless you're under a rock, you know what happened at the Tops grocery store, right? So the man authorities say opened fire in a Buffalo grocery store Saturday, killing 10 mostly black shoppers, was a vowed white supremacist. Wasn't a vowed white supremacist, but his agenda went far beyond blacks. In the 180-page manifesto posted online 2 days before he carried out this attack, the 18-year-old gunman wrote that he chose the Tops Friendly Market on Buffalo's east side because it's an area with many black residents. 11 of the 13 people shot there were black, law enforcement officials said. Blacks, wrote Peyton Kendron, hope I pronounced that right, come from a culture that sought to ethnically replace my own people. You starting to get where I'm coming from, Bob?
Yeah, bro, and that's crazy.
Hold
It's
on now. There's more, but I just want you see where I'm saying? Like, this man felt like his people were being replaced. I'll continue. But at the root of this xenophobic plan, known as replacement theory, are Jews to whom the alleged shooter devotes as much vitriol. Traditionally, Jews are depicted as stealth invaders who manipulate Western elites to disempower and replace white Americans. Both blacks and Jews are bound together in white supremacy, watchers of the movement say. All right? You can't separate the racism and anti Semitism, said Amy Spittelnick, executive director of Integrity First for America, the nonprofit that successfully sued organizers of the 2018 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, where marchers chanted, "The Jews will not replace us." So, lady has a point. A lot of times, as black people, we feel like we in it by ourselves, which we are to a great degree. But I don't think as many as my peers as I would like realize how closely anti-Semitism and anti-black notions are related, and they're going to go into it more. See, she says there needs to be some conspiracy responsible for everything terrible that these white supremacists think is happening to the country as a result of black and brown people, immigrants, and refugees, says Spittelnick. Dozens of pages in the Buffalo Shooters manifesto, are devoted to first to blacks and then to Jews, uh, replete with photos, drawings, graphs, and caricatures. All right, I'll skip ahead a little bit. The great replacement theory that binds racism and anti Semitism once was an obscure extremist idea relegated to white supremacist forums. But in recent years, it has become mainstream, especially as Fox TV host Tucker Carlson has made the Democrats' intent to dilute the white voting population a central theme of his show. Several congressional Republicans have echoed it or outright embraced that notion. So, if I could get off that for just a second. Tucker Carlson talks about this stuff on his show. I didn't want to belabor the audience and pull up a whole bunch of clips of him talking about it, but you can go to YouTube and pull this up on your own time whenever you want to. Do you think Tucker Carlson bears any responsibility for talking about this great replacement stuff for years? And now we have somebody who's echoing the same sentiments in a manifesto and goes out to a grocery store and kills people.
yeah. I think he definitely, if he's talking like this to the people, it's crazy.
But this is looked at as a news show. There's certain people who watch Fox News and never watch anything else. People we went to high school with that we call friends.
Dang. So you saying that news channel, it
It radicalized
yeah.
the Boston shooter. That's what I'm saying. To me, it's quite clear. And there's other shooters who they said he plagiarized his manifesto from. So he's not original in any way to me. This is the kind of thing that's going to keep on happening, because if you have somebody like Tucker Carlson talking about this nonsense to a big enough audience, somebody's going to act on it after a while. Have you ever heard of stochastic terrorism?
No, I haven't.
Well, that's a concept where, I dropped out, so I'm gonna try my best to describe this. But how it goes is, if you got a big enough audience and you keep telling people to act on something, just by sheer like math, after a while, somebody's gonna act on it. You know what I'm saying? Me and you, how many views is our video gonna get? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not gonna get that much. So it's different if we tell people, a certain thing. But if you reaching millions and millions of people every day, some of these people probably got some kind of mental health stuff going on. But who among us doesn't have some kind of mental health thing going on? You know what I'm saying? So after a while, if you keep on talking this hate speech, you talking about xenophobia, you talking about anti-Semitism, you talking about racist stuff. Before long, somebody's not gonna want to just talk about this all the time. Somebody's gonna get active.
Mm. I mean, we've been having these for a long time, man. I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if we can make it seem like it's different with each one, but how we can bring the commonality in all of these kind of shootings where it's like mainly in a black area or it's black targeted. But it's been going on for a while. I think
Yeah.
it's a new, a new way, because these guys are just pledging that they're crazy, and we got to look at the results. What kind of results do they be getting after they, do crimes
Well,
like this?
well, this is the thing. The reason why I'm not a Democrat, right? But I think I'm on the left, right? And I want to respond to what you're saying, right?
Hold on, I thought you was a Democrat.
I wouldn't say that. I vote with the Democrats because I think that that's the best
Okay.
tool against the right wing. But I wouldn't say I'm just full fledged Democrat. I
Why?
think
So why? Now I want to go. Why? Why?
I mean, you're getting me distracted. I'm trying
Got
to
you.
worry
Okay.
about one thing at a time. We can
Go
get
ahead.
into that later. But what I'm trying to say is, you could be. I forget what you was even asking to begin when I was getting this response. I got thrown off, but I want to make this point. When I get on the right side, it's because of stuff like this, man. This is the stuff that they put on their news station. So if I'm going to be biased against one side, I would rather be biased against them, because these kind of conspiracy theories, the stuff that they're talking about on the news all day, causes problems. They make us dumber. They're contributing to the dumbing down of society, and this is an example. If you're dumb enough to fall for the bottom of the ocean being the same thing as outer space and Earth being flat, and you think that you see a video online, right? Your media literacy is low enough to see a mermaid online on your timeline and share it, like, whoa, this is crazy. Then you definitely are gullible enough to fall for the great replacement theory. And if you feel like immigrants, black people, Jews are trying to replace white people so you guys don't exist anymore, yeah, somebody's gonna want to act on that after a while. It's the same thing like people keep telling me about the abortion thing. They're saying that, oh, this is really about white people scared of their numbers dwindling because white people get the most abortions, and that kind of thing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that.
These are all silly ass conspiracy theories. That's why I wanted to do this podcast with you in the first place, so we could be have higher media literacy, so we could use a more motivated reasoning and critical thinking, and
Yeah.
maybe point out some of the logical fallacies in the stories we see every day. And this is why it's important. It might be
Yeah,
something
I agree.
mild, like, flat earth, or it could be somebody doing the buffalo shoot.
Yeah, yeah. That was a
So,
big one, man.
and,
That
and,
was
and
a
if you
big.
look at right wing media, not to cut you off, Bob, I apologize, but I want to say this before I forget. You could tell that that's the real reason things is going on, because they're coming up with some really goofy reasons as to why the Buffalo shooter did what he did. And nobody on the right, if you watch Fox News, none of them is going to say it's because of Tucker Carlson and falling for the great replacement theory. I heard a woman named Lisa Kennedy say that it's because of abortion. That's why that's what this is related to, right? Like, if you don't care about life to the point where you'll get an abortion, then you're just crazy enough to do a mass shooting. Another right wing pundit, we'll call him, Jesse Waters, blames lockdowns and masking. He's saying that, I don't remember that well, but he says something about people being frustrated from lockdowns and masking, that they'll act out in this way, which I think is silly. But they don't want to be the people that are blamed for this.
No, who would?
Yeah, they got to do what they got to do for their base, but we know that this is what's going on. Hey, let me ask you something. Do you watch Fox News?
No, but I'm not a news consumer, so
Mm,
I'll look at, if I look at a story, I'll research a story and I'll look at all the different, how they publicize it. So I get to see the different angles they put on headlines.
mm-hmm.
But I'm not a consumer. I don't even have access to news channel to watch. I would have to watch it via online, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a consumer of, you know. But I understand that it's powerful and a lot of people do, but I get news as the people who I follow, you know, who I feel that are credible.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's what most people are doing. And that's what most people are doing. I think that's why this show is valuable, because most people are just listening to people who they trust, which are their friends. And sometimes their friends that they trust are just reading headlines and just kind of getting whatever they already believe confirmed. I don't know how many people are approaching things with a Socratic mindset these days.
Yeah.
So that's what I try to bring to what we do in here, because we got to be skeptical of a lot of this shit that we see in the media, man. This shit,
Yeah, for
this shit
real.
gonna be right, bro.
At all, man. But I'm sure I want to really ask, like, because we got into. I want to share this topic here. I know we was into this right or left wing. Let
Yeah.
me share. Hold on. Let me share my screen. But I definitely want us to get into, because you said a big point. You said you don't consider yourself Democratic or Republican, and
Yeah, I'm probably a little bit left of where the Democrats are. Correct.
um, but here, we're gonna get on Elon Musk. I know you probably got a story on him too, but here,
Mm.
it says Elon Musk blasts Biden administration and Democrats on Twitter over hate sidelining of Tesla. So you said an interesting thing about how Fox News, you know, could be responsible for. But let me let you hear what Elon Musk said in this article. CNBC, do you follow that news channel much?
Not really that much. I mean,
Yeah,
Not really that much. If they had an article, I might check it out. Though.
right, right. So,
Mhm.
in this article, they basically talk about Musk accused Biden administration of doing everything it can to sideline and ignore Tesla despite its dominance in the electric vehicle industry. So, could you see a way where, like, I heard Joe Biden announced a big meeting for all of the car dealerships, and he didn't invite Elon Musk.
Mhm.
And next, another point was Musk, who was making an increasingly fraud attempt to purchase Twitter for 44 billion, suggests that he would become the target of a smear campaign by Democrats.
Mhm.
And then the next one was Business Insider reports claim that Musk in 2016 engaged in sexual misconduct against a private jet flight attendant who later was paid $250,000 in severance by his SpaceX airspace firm. He denies her allegations. So before I get into it, and everybody should check out this article, first, I wanted to say that could you see a case where he feels like he has enemies and he feels like these enemies are trying to set him up? Could you see how that could be working for him if this was a claim he was making?
Well, I think when you get messages from the media, the first thing you should always consider is the source. So this is an article talking about what Elon Musk is claiming.
Right,
I don't find Elon Musk to be a particularly credible individual. We've spoken about him before. I don't think it's any secret that I'm not a fan of the guy, but
right,
I think it's very convenient that he comes out with these announcements about the left being the enemy, right? Right
right.
before these allegations about the misconduct with the employee come out. Seems like he wants to try to make it seem like he's being attacked to try to attack the credibility of media outlets that are coming out with the story about him.
Now, I totally believe that story could be true about how he, wanted to smash one of the people. I get that. I can understand that. But I mean, what he's reporting, as you can see here, he put, I'm going to quote you what Elon Musk said. He said, in the past, I voted Democrat because they were the mostly the kindness party. Now, and then he said, but they have become the party of division and hate. So I no longer support them and will vote Republican. Now
Right.
watch their dirty tricks campaign against me unfold. So what I'm saying is I thought before this that you was Democratic strong, but maybe I was mistaken. But what I'm saying is he's saying he pledged Democrat before, like he used to pledge for him. Did you used to pledge for a Democrat? Like,
What do you mean? I used to pledge for
I
Democrat.
mean, were you on that Democratic side at one point in time? I was at one point in time. I was pushing
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, I vote for Democrats. Yes.
Right. So you wouldn't say you're not like he said he voted Democratic in the past. You're going to continue to vote
Yeah,
Democrat,
that's what
but
I'm saying.
you don't you don't consider yourself just a Democrat
No, I'm not a Democrat, but I vote for Democratic candidates. Yes.
only. So if it was somebody that wasn't a Republican or a Democrat,
I
you
would vote for the best candidate, but I can't
got you.
imagine a Republican. There's no Republican that I see that I would prefer over a Democrat right now, especially not with what's going on.
Okay. So your angle is you just see more you see more you see more value in the Democratic side.
I think what their agenda aligns with my values more closely than the Republican candidates.
Got you. Got you. Understandable. That's definitely
Mhm.
understandable.
Yeah, but don't you want to talk about what he said? Like, why was this convincing to you? Like, why do you
No,
think
no,
that?
it wasn't convincing you. I just wanted to bring it because it was alarming that you know, he just said that he voted Democratic in the past, and he feels like these people are. I mean, the Democratic Party could be division and hate. And we talked about the Buffalo shooter, and you said it was Fox News, correct? That was
Correct.
and Fox News is a Republican channel, would you say, or Republican
Yeah,
mostly, not
yeah,
Democrat?
yeah.
Got you. Okay. Which one? Which channel would you say is a more
These are
Democratic?
obvious questions, Bob. There's nobody who's gonna say that Fox News is not Republican. I know you don't watch the news, but that's like very obvious.
Got
All right, so I'm trying to get to. I want to get to what you're trying to ask me.
you. No,
I'm
no, no. I'm
hoping this is
just
going somewhere.
no. We was talking about the Democrat, So I was just trying to just see how this Democrat, how this situation played out to how your situation um, played out to how you say you don't really vote Democrat.
I'm
So
not saying that, Bob. I think you're. Let me. There seems to be some confusion on your part, so let me take this opportunity to provide clarity. With when one votes democratically, when one votes for a Democrat, doesn't necessarily means that they are a Democrat. I think a lot of my values, a lot of policies I would want to see is left of where the Democratic Party is right now. Me and Elon Musk are not similar at all. I'm not saying what he's saying. What he's saying in this tweet is he used to be voting with Democrats. Now he's going to start voting with Republicans. This is this is game. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be the guy that recognizes marketing and all of this stuff, right? I want you to
yeah,
recognize the marketing in this statement. They're about to come out with a story. He knows about the story before we know about it because the people who write the story have to reach out to you for comment. Look, we're going
right.
to run a story about somebody saying that you pulled your dick out and you tried to get her to do a sexual favor and you offered her a horse. Do you want to give your side of the story or are we just going to run with it, right? So he knows that that's coming. So he's like, you know what I got to do? I got to get in front of this story. What I'm going to do is come out with a statement saying that I'm not going to vote Democrat anymore, right? And I'm going to say, I'm going to give Donald Trump his Twitter back. You know, so I'm going to say all of this stuff to make it seem like I'm an enemy of the left wing. So when they come out with these stories, these publications, which are not necessarily coming out with the stories because he's a Republican. It's a story because you're Elon Musk, but he can make it seem like they're making up lies on me. They're just mad that I don't want to vote Democrat anymore. So they turned on me and they're coming up with these dirty tricks because they don't want me to buy Twitter. You know what? This is more like me and him don't have a lot of common. This is more like when Cosby had charges coming up on him, and he was like, "Look, I didn't rape nobody. It's because I was trying to buy NBC." You know, so I don't know if Cosby said that, but that was like a that was
Right,
going on.
right.
Cosby
That was
didn't
what
do
people
nothing
were
to
saying.
nobody. He was trying to buy NBC, and that's why they're making all of this up. This is what Twitter, then what Elon Musk is doing. Oh, they see I don't want to support Democrats anymore. They see I'm about to buy Twitter, and they trying to throw salt in my game because they hate me. Come on, man. I think it's no. I think that you align yourself with Republicans because that's the party of less regulation and
Right.
lower taxation. And you run a big business. You're the richest guy around. So yeah, you're gonna want to go with the party that's gonna regulate you less and wants less of your money. So that's where he gonna go with. And
Understandable.
on top of that, it don't have nothing to do with that Twitter. That Twitter deal was already looking shaky when we covered that story, Bob. Remember, I was telling you, like, man, it ain't no guarantee this is even gonna go through. You know what I'm saying? Now he coming up with all of these excuses why he don't want to buy Twitter. The bots and this one said this and that one said that. I don't think he was gonna buy it to begin with. You know what I'm saying? I was skeptical of it because this is a guy that talks, man. This is the guy who was steering people to those stocks, the crypto stuff.
Yeah.
How many little people got screwed over with Elon with these tweets?
Yeah, a lot.
Elon Musk is no friend of mine. I see through all of this, man. I don't believe none of this shit that he's saying, dog. I think I think he did proposition the young lady for sex. I think he did offer her a
Sounds
horse.
reasonable. I mean, it just sounds
That's
like
why she got the $250,000 a severance. And since then, I'll tell you, I got an article on that. Business Insider, I believe, was the first people that broke that story, and they're standing on what they said. They're like, "Look, man, we got sources, man. We stand by our story. We know what we talking about. So you can deny it all you want. We reached out to you. You said you was gonna release a statement. You know, saying you never did. We ran the story,
well,
and now
why
you
would
mad.
he
That's
care? All I'm saying is,
no,
I hear your point and I hear where you're coming from with all of this. Well, my point is, why would that be such a that happened in 2018, 2019? Why would that be the only thing to make him turn up like this? That's what I'm saying. What are the Democrats going to expose it and put it on TV? But I'm saying, like, it ain't the Democrats that did it. It was the girl. You get what I'm saying? So he just denied the claim. All I'm saying is, why would that make him want to be turning on them like this if they didn't have nothing to do with the
Bob,
girl?
this is the thing. He's not just turning on Democrats now. There. There's nothing about him. I've always known him to be a conservative person. Like what I don't know this left leaning Elon Musk that he's describing himself to be. I don't know him to be that guy. He's
Right.
always been on some bullshit. You know, Tesla is known for breaking up unions, having racial practices at their job. I don't see him doing a whole lot to fix that. I don't think he cares, in my opinion. He's always been a right wing guy. I think he's just making all of this up so people won't believe the story because he's embarrassed. He got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Get your point. I don't think he that embarrassed though. I don't think he's.
If he wasn't embarrassed, then why not just be like, man, whatever, man, believe what you want. I don't care what she say. I got money. That's what I do. I offer bitches horses. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Say whatever you want. What's 250 to a nigga like me? That's how he should have handled it. You know what I'm
That's. I
saying?
mean, at the end of the day, that's how it is. She got broke off her 250K.
But he's not keeping it pimping. You know what I'm saying? He's acting like it's not that when he already paid the settlement. And why is this girl gonna make up some shit like this? She had a good job. She said after she didn't respond the way he wanted her to the advances, he started to retaliate. Like she wasn't on the schedule as much anymore and everything. Like she had to push the issue. Like, damn, you really gonna act like this? All right, now we got to go this
I
route.
can understand him doing that.
Now we got to go this route.
Right? I mean, listen, dog. I can understand. You feel me? With the whole ordeal, if that would truly happen.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go back to Occam's razor. You know, I'm always gonna go back to motivated reasoning, critical thinking, epistemology, all that good shit, right? If we have two plausible scenarios, I should prefer the one that's the simplest, that makes the most sense, bro. Like the less far fetched. Do I think the left wing is involved in a conspiracy to make up stories about Elon Musk to gain I don't know what? Or is it easier for me to believe that you offered a chick a horse, she wasn't really feeling it, you got mad, you started acting different, you thought you was going to get away with it because you got paper, and she was like, no, matter of fact, I'm going to sue you. And just because you don't even want this story to get out in the media, you know that it's true, you're going to cough up that bread. And the girl has a witness. I got the story. They
Yeah,
got it in the Business Insider.
he
They got
should
it
have
in
knew.
Daily Beast.
He was caught slipping, man. He should have knew better,
Definitely,
man. He could have
definitely.
hired in a lot better and making sure the person who you got doing that kind of job is aware and they understand and they know what they signing up to.
Well, look. This is the crazy thing. I think those girls kind of should have figured out what was going on too, because if you really read the story, it gets deep. Like Elon Musk and them were trying to convince the girls to get masseuse licenses so that they could give this dude massages on the job.
I don't get it. What do you mean? Get the girls masseuse therapy license?
Yeah. You don't think that's weird? You run a business, Bob. The audience might not know, but you run a business. Don't you think it would be weird if you started asking the female employees to go ahead and start getting masseuse licenses on their own dime so that on their extra time or in the meantime, in between time, they could earn extra money by giving you massages? Do you think that would be appropriate?
No, not with your own employees that you right.
That's what they
Yeah.
were doing over there. So it
It's
was
like we
sketchy
don't
from the
really need you anyway. Just I need that's why
that's what
this is what I'm saying.
this
He-
to
he-
me. Remember when we had to talk about this, Bob? You know what I'm saying? We said that, we're gonna try to be respectful on this show. We're gonna try to be classy. We don't necessarily need to use pejoratives, calling people out of their names and stuff like that. We could just kind of like attack the issue. But on the previous show, I called Elon Musk a name, right? This is the kind of stuff I was talking about, though. I think this speaks to his character. This is somebody that's a little bit, you got to look out for stuff like that, man. When people start aligning themselves with Donald Trump, they want the employees to get masseuse
I
licenses.
just think he was lame on the part of how to deal with women and just period if you're in that situation. I think he's just a a bug when it
Yeah,
comes to like you get what I mean?
yeah, weirdo.
Like, yeah, a straight
Yeah,
weirdo. Yeah.
there's a lot of other ways he could have went about. Like if his goal was to sleep with the woman, there's other ways he could have went about it. Like he could have invited her on a private trip. Maybe just we could start off small. Invite her out to dinner. Have a drink or something. Nobody's gonna write an article about you inviting a woman to dinner. You could nice her up, you know what I'm saying, to the point where y'all have some kind of intimate relationship like that. You're on the job pressing her, exposing yourself, offering her a horse, you know what I'm saying? That to me is weirdo activity.
Yeah. He's taking the approach of the money instead of the approach of getting the sale. So he was like, that was a bad approach because if you're taking in that money, there's other ways they could get it from you as well. So you're not, I just feel like he was really slipping. He was,
He
but he's
was.
lame to that. I think
He
he's
was.
green
He,
to that kind of, you
he,
know.
and I want to say this. It seems like we're coming up on an hour, so I'm gonna try to start wrapping things up. But I want to say this. Remember before Donald Trump ran for president, before The Apprentice. Remember how rappers was using Trump names in songs,
Yeah.
wanting to be around them. Mike Tyson and Donald Trump is friends. Like Donald Trump was a cool guy.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is that same type of dude, man. If we don't check this kind of shit, like where it's at right now, and like really point out the kind of guy he is, we can have a guy like him running amok. You know what I'm saying? Just like Donald Trump did with the anti-science agenda, anti-intellectualism. More keeping the foot on the neck of the little guy. People like me and you. Rising up, raising up platforms like Fox News that encourage things like the Boston shooting. We're gonna see more of the right wing winning if you keep on getting involved in like the cult of personality that's surrounding Elon Musk. We should be smarter now. he's not our friend. This guy is not, one of the people. He's acting like that though. He's acting like he's one of us. You see how he be trying to tweet and act like he's cool, just like Donald Trump used to do. Donald Trump show up in, movies and videos and stuff. Elon Musk is trying to do the same thing, make everybody think he's a good guy when really he's the enemy.
I can understand that. I can see that.
I'm the arch enemy of white supremacy, Bob. I'm gonna speak on shit like this. They don't want it. They don't want to see people like us speaking on this. They don't want us to be smart enough to see what they doing.
And you can. Did you see the Lil Wayne and Mark Cuban debacle? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, man. I didn't really care about it that much, but I did see it. He said something about urinating in Mark Cuban's mouth and getting him slapped or something.
Yeah, got pretty brutal. But Mark Cuban tweeted one of his lyrics from his song.
Mm-hmm. They made up though, so
yeah,
they ain't even fight or nothing. Nobody got shot,
No, Mark Cuban actually is pretty bigger than Wayne, a lot bigger than Wayne.
Yeah, that's why it's just funny. It's just two guys exchanging words on the internet, and they made it. Wayne takes sports really seriously. You notice that?
Yeah, for real.
He don't even play like I would like to see him on the sports show.
Yeah, because he's there. He knows about it. He got friends.
He's always at the games, like on wood.
Sports is a big thing, man. Sports is a big thing.
Yeah, sports is a big thing. I can't really speak too much on sports. I don't keep up with stuff.
Well, the political on sports, we should definitely bring up like that incident where I hit you with like, I thought it was kind of like, that there was even going back and forth. You don't see much of that with rappers. You only see rappers and rappers. But if we seen more rappers being political on stuff like you saying and standing on certain things, like with some things like Elon Musk is doing, but I think a lot of rappers would like to still stand next to Elon Musk and be like,
I know, because we got a lot of groupieism. We got a lot of groupieism these days, man. We looking up to people. Anybody who got a bag, we gonna look up to.
Yeah, for real. It's like that slave mentality already. It's like you see people the value for the money they got and not the resources,
Yeah, that's a very astute observation.
So
we got to get our values in order, man. We got to get our priorities together, dog. It's not all about the bag, because as we spoke of in a previous show, this guy comes from apartheid Africa, like his father is a white nationalist, so you got to think about the type of values that he was raised with, and now he wants to align himself with media outlets like a Fox News, because remember, he said he's against the left. You're not going to see Fox News pushing a story against Elon Musk because he's like on their team. They don't do unbiased media reporting over there. They're just going to cheer for their team. You know what I'm saying? And turn a blind eye to anybody on the right side doing something bad. Me, I'll vote with Democrats, but if Joe Biden do some bullshit, we could get on here and talk about it. I don't care about none of these dudes outside of like what they can do.
That's how I listen.
Like, anybody can.
I'm glad you said that, because that wasn't clear to me. I thought that, you know what I mean, you were just pushing more on the Democratic side, which, hey man, there's nothing wrong with whoever. If they believe with Republicans or they believe with Democrats, I just want to believe what's right.
Yeah, I want to get to the truth.
I want to get the truth and what we should do. That's the right way.
Yeah,
I don't want to have to pick up.
That's what I'm trying to say. Joe Biden, right? Okay, we could talk about stuff all day. We could talk about the minimum mandatories. We could talk about the Asian hate crime bill and has he done enough for black people specifically? These are stuff we could talk about, right? That makes sense. We could criticize those things. But when you're talking about one side is talking about Jewish space lasers, hurricane guns, great replacement theory. That's we're not even talking about like they're even close.
Right.
They're
But
way out of there. I'm not even. I could disagree with Democrats, but at least I feel like we're on the same planet. The stuff that I hear a lot of that MAGA crowd talking about is completely crazy.
beneath.
Just and I think dumb people are more dangerous than evil people.
They said distracted people distract people, man. So
Mm.
anytime you distracted, you know, you can distract people, you know. So that's probably a tactic that they're using, but it's other tactics in truth. Like you was telling me, you was reading the book on Jim Jones, and we was talking about, you know, he gave them food, and you know, you could do certain things where you could be feeling like it's real, but you still have to go with the facts on what's going on. Like I didn't believe with, you know, the biggest thing I have with the Democrats was what went on with the Black Lives Matter situation. I feel like that was disgraceful. Um, with where the funds went, it just made me like, oh man. But that happens a lot with business and whatever, and you know.
Yeah, we could save that one because there has been some news that came out about the founders of Black Lives Matter, and
Yeah.
there could be some misappropriation of funds that went on there, and that's unfortunate. That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
And I can't just blame that on the Democrats though. You can't just say, you know what
No,
I mean?
but
But
look, they was on the left side, so if they did something wrong, let's drag them, let's criticize them, let's scrutinize what they did. Let's not like let's not try to gloss over or dumb it down just because they on the left. Look, if you ain't right, we gonna call you out and get you out the way. It's about the truth, what's right and what's
yeah,
wrong, what's contributing to the greater good. I'll
most
let you
definitely.
have the last word though. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, hey man, listen, y'all. We know prices is going up, and bottled water costs is going up, food prices going up. So you guys know that we have where you can get your water treatment at your home, and this is the best time, man, to be able to have water. You know, so you can make food and everything right from your home, and you can save the money from buying the bottled water. So contact us at www.envirely.com, and you can call us and, you know, order your water necessaries. Okay, so you don't have to depend on a bottled water company. Anything
Yeah.
else you got, Cap?
Oh yeah, I'm at Jaw Israel on Facebook. We got to start dropping some links.
Yeah, we got to start just dropping our thing on top. We definitely gonna set that up for the next one, man. So we just gonna have to just give them anything that could uplift them, help them, anything, and they'll know.
Yeah, I'm glad we ain't let the whole week go by without at least getting one in.
It was a tragic week, man. You know.
It was. I wasn't even in the mood to talk about stuff, man. That stuff had me in a. Sometimes you got to
Tragic.
just disconnect from all of this stuff for a few
Exactly,
days, man.
man.
Keep your sanity, man.
Focus on some things. So, hey, we're gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.
Peace.